Last week in Barcelona, the championship fight hit a boiling point. Kieran Liftlander muscled his way past Evan McFarland on the opening lap and took off, but the three-time defending world champion wasn't going down without a fight. McFarland clawed back nearly a second in just one lap, hounding Liftlander all the way to the finish in one of the fiercest duels of the season. Matthew Lindy battled his way through a swarm of no-control esports cars to secure the final step on the podium as well, continuing his consistent campaign. But today, the focus shifts. The Velocity Pixels Endurance Cup returns at Oschersleben, a tournament rich with tradition and unforgettable moments, and the next chapter begins now. We go green in Germany, live next on ASN. Our venue for today is the virtual Oschersleben B layout, a shorter variant of Germany's motorsport arena Oschersleben. Originally opened in 1997, the B layout trims down the full circuit to a tighter, more technical loop that emphasizes cornering precision and rhythm. With its narrow racing line, tricky chicanes, and heavy braking zones, this layout keeps the racing close and overtaking at a premium. While it may lack the length of its full counterpart, the Oschersleben B layout delivers intense wheel-to-wheel action every time. In NASA Rallycross, our Velocity Pixels Endurance Cup format is as follows. We're finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying session that splits the field for our 10-minute heat race. The top 5 receive bonus points, with 5 to the winner and down to 1 for 5th. This sets the grid for our 30-minute feature race, where the points are awarded, trophies are handed out, and everybody races, as the 32nd season of the NASA Rallycross World Championship continues today live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Brian Sawyer in the production truck, and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to the German Grand Prix. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problems, our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN, also brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you so much to Andrew Cardinale IV for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed, produced by Alex Sabetti and Mr. Brian Sawyer. Just when we think we have seen it all, we had last week happen. Evan clawed that gap back, tried to take the bump and run to the win, couldn't do it. Kieran leads the points. We begin the Endurance Cup, and I have to walk out of here in less than an hour. How are you? What are your thoughts?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here. Looking forward to seeing what this track gives us for the supercars. It was great in the futures. The lights and the contenders a little more subdued, so hopefully we get some fire back in here with the with all the supercar drivers.
Let's take a look at points coming into the Endurance Cup. And a reminder, we won't have points at the end of this race, obviously, because the two races combine. We'll go over that next week. Kieran Liftlander leads the World Championship by 15 points over Evan McFarland. Zach Blanche not here, missed the drivers' meeting. No Pakala, Darnell in 5th. Palin Ava, I think, is here. Lindy, no Kreutzer, no Kirtley, no Brostrom. A lot of guys use these 2 rounds for their drop week. That's why we've got it put together this way, but we didn't want to have the heritage removed. As we take a look at the Constructors' Championship, TWR Subi squad looking good. No Control, 3 points up on Kieran Liftlander Racing as we take a look down the order. Subaru, Ford, Volkswagen, or the Manufacturers' Championship. As we will head straight in to qualifying here in Oschersleben. The first time that NASA Rallycross has been in Germany since 2019 be in Munich. But of course, that was on NASCAR Racing 2003. That was a Rallycross layout, so this is a completely different challenge for these guys. Only 8 cars, but I suspect we're going to have an awesome race per normal. So let's see the first car on track, Ryan.
Excuse me,
for
I'm
our
the
qualifying
ninth car?
session.
think
Well,
it's Kieran.
you know what? That's an interesting one. Kieran Liftlander on track. I'm glad the feed represents his car popping up well, because it is all over the place for me. We talked about in the driver's meeting, or even before we went on air, Brian, these guys shouldn't have to pit like we saw in futures and contenders, but we will expect a pit stop, I think, pit stop's mandatory in the feature race later on.
Yeah, no, we saw with the contenders that they most of them had a pit. If you were light on the gas, you could get away without pitting on the fixed setup. But these guys all on their own custom setup, so they should be able to make it just fine. Just tick that fuel up just a little bit, be able to run full on out for the full heat race, and then they'll have to take that pit. So building your own setup, you can do your strategy however you want. You might want a heavy car, you might want a light car. So we'll figure it out. We'll see what they do.
And just making a note of coming into today's race in Germany, Matthew Lindy with a qualifying ban due to his immense accumulation of penalties and protests over the last couple of weeks. But the first car on track on a lap, world championship leader, Kieran Liftlander. And Brian, say what you want about the move that happened last Sunday, but Kieran Liftlander has been defeated for the first time in 8 weeks in the Lights World Championship. So I don't know. Today's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I still think that move is under review. Don't know who is at fault for it. But it was a good one.
Brawl, for sure.
All I know is I was in the
demand.
dirt. I was in the dirt, and I don't know what happened.
Across the line for the championship leader, car number 20 with the red number plate and the plate on the ticker, 59. They're in the 59s?
Yeah,
for the
they are.
supercar class?
You
What?
wanted to get out of here early, Josh. They heard you.
Wow. So Josh Darnell begins his first lap. Yoni Pelaneva, 1 minute 0.001 for the Finn. Jess Rakowski, her first lap did not count with an off track. Triple defending world champion Evan McFarland in the beautiful blue livery will cross the line in car number 1. Where will he go?
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but we're trying to get everything back and working. I don't know what happened.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear
We
me,
got
Ryan?
you back. There we go. We're good
Weird.
to go.
That was
That was
really
weird.
bizarre. Sorry, guys.
It just stopped transmitting to YouTube for a minute. It stopped. It said Josh doesn't exist anymore. Evan McFarland,
I've
though,
noticed
finishing with a
because-
59.6.
Yeah, so he was up by 0.117. I had just called that before everything broke. And I knew it wasn't broken on my end because I still got cars on iRacing. I still got Formula One qualifying on my left monitor. So I don't know what's happening, but we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Matthew Lindy's got a qualifying ban. I don't know if I mentioned that before we decided to have everything grenade. Evan McFarland, faster than Kieran. Their qualifying runs are done. We're waiting for Sotens, Simmer, and Darnell. Darnell is going to be finishing up his lap. He's the last one to finish his qualifying run. So Simmer will cross the line, and Max Verstappen has gone pole position, Brian. Hopefully I didn't spoil that for you, but that's annoying. That's not expected, so here we are.
Don't tell me things.
I'm going to tell you. You've done that for me. So, Simmer goes P6, Soten's P7, and Darnell P4, as qualifying is done and dusted.
Alrighty.
I can close that tab at least. Wow, okay.
So, I mean, this is what I expected, Kieran and Evan. I didn't expect them to be sub 1 minute, but hey.
Because
Here
they
we
are
are.
they are the only cars sub 1 minute. All right. Evan McFarland, Kieran Lifflander, defending champion with the gold plate, championship leader with the red plate, Pelaneva, Darnell, Rakowski, Simmer, Sotens, and Lindy. Our grid for our heat race today. 10 minutes. Everybody will transfer. Unsure if we will be a pit stop. I don't think so. Evan playing the risky game of who off the grid.
Well, that's called I forgot to change my setup, and now I have to come back.
That's the most nerve-wracking. So, we wait for Darnell, Simmer, Sotens, and Lindy.
If you're in a chat with somebody, it's not too bad. You can say, hey, hold on, don't grid yet.
As we'll go over programming notes, I think, during warm-up. But just keep in mind, we've got NASA on Sunday and Monday. We've got no torque this week. And then we're back next Thursday. Or next Saturday, sorry. Words are hard. For supercars. We get ready to go green for the heat race in Germany. Green flag. Off the line. McFarland spun the tires. Here comes Lifflander. Down to turn 1. Pelaneva looking to the outside as well. The first corner. Lifflander crosses into the first corner. McFarland stays in second. Pelaneva, Darnell, Rakowski, Simmer, Sotens, and Lindy. And I think this duel is going to be great for the 40 minutes combined of racing that we have. Lifflander trying to redeem himself from the incident on Sunday. McFarland looks to the inside into turn number 3 and back to turn 4, the switchback of these two hairpins. And if they're a 10th between each other, Brian, this is going to be some good stuff through the shell curve, through the Amman curve, 5 and 6, this tricky chicane. You think you want to push this car so much more than you actually can. Couple car lengths between Lifflander and McFarland to the Bauer curve, turn 7, and to the Zeppelin curve, turn 8, final corner. We ride on board Lifflander, and off of that final corner, the gap is 0.3 of a second from Lifflander to McFarland. They've already gapped Darnell, who's gotten by Pelaneva, Rakowski, Simmer, Sotens, and Lindy in the back of the field. McFarland's not going to let him get away, I don't think. Pushes it a little wide. And off of the hotel corner, turn 2. And now down back to turn number 3. McFarland hit the right rear on the dirt. He saved it. Trying every which way to gain time on Lifflander, Brian.
Yeah. Josh, I need to build a graphic that shows the wheels, how their steering wheel is angled, because you watch somebody hit the curb like that, just the erratic behavior that you have to get on the wheel just to be able to save the car. It's incredible. You just go, what do I gotta do?
Off the road.
Dirt. Say, don't overdrive it, Evan. Drive your lap, don't drive Kieran's lap.
Easy to do. He's trying so hard. Triple defending world champion, 15 points down coming into the beginning of the Velocity Pixels Endurance Cup.
Yoni Pelaneva trying to make a move on Josh Darnell. Josh Darnell cutting the track over to the side.
Over the curb in turn 2. He's going to get a slowdown, I think, in car number 1. Here comes Pelaneva to the inside of Darnell.
Doesn't make it stick.
As Lindy has gotten by Simmer, trying to get by Sotens, and McFarland drifting in again. And he can't give up these points, Brian. While it doesn't score this week fully, every point matters. Regard on board Pelaneva. Lindy trying to get by Sotens in the back of the field. And Josh Darnell holding the 3rd spot. I'll tell you what, we didn't get a chance to. Let's ride on board Kieran Lifflander, car number 20, and enjoy a lap here in Oschersleben. focus on the face of Kieran Lifflander is something else.
Battle for the podium has not let up at all.
Palin Ava on all over the rear wing of Darnell. And this is for third starting spot in the feature race later on, and an extra bonus point in the scoring of the mini championship. And I mentioned this on the Futures show on ASN Plus, and I'll say it again, and people ask me why this is NASA Rallycross, Josh. Why are you doing this? And I say, well, we ran these tracks forever. Palin Ava looks to the inside on Darnell, thought he was going to give him the bumper. He does not. We've ran longer style, full dirt road courses forever, but these asphalt road courses that we've implemented since we've been on iRacing pays homage to the tarmac stage rallies of the rally world. And I guess something for me. Palin Ava looks to the inside. I'll finish my story eventually. Drifts it through the final corner. Does not.
It's going to burn a lot of time.
You're good on rallycross tracks. You got to be good on the full dirt tracks, and you have to be good on the tarmac. It's every aspect of driving these cars. But of course, the core aspect of it is rallycross, where you get both of those in the same track. Gap from Lifflander to McFarland, 2.7 seconds. And I don't know. I think Evan got a little overzealous, pushed a little too hard, and then realized maybe I should stop worrying about it and just drive the car.
Yeah, drive your lap.
Palin Ava looks to the inside again on Darnell through turn 4. Exiting turn 4, full four-wheel drift, and it's especially difficult in these cars, of course, to drive these tracks because you're on all-wheel drive. You hit the throttle, all 4 tires are going to yell at you that they want to go, go, go. And you're not on slicks, I don't believe. You are on groove tires. So a couple of interesting little tidbits on these cars. There's just under 4 minutes left. Kieran Lifflander, Evan McFarland, battle for third, still raging on. Last time around, McFarland matched Lifflander. Palin Ava looks to the inside on Darnell to the first corner. Car complaining under braking was the 31. And Darnell holding strong. Palin Ava looks inside. Door closes from the defending contenders champion.
I gotta give a shout out to Evan though. Evan builds the sets for all the TWRS teams and affiliates. Josh Darnell's probably running one of Evan's sets right now, and hats off to making him make the Fiesta competitive here, because we saw in the contenders race that all the Fiestas were in the back. They could not hold on at all. We got a Fiesta up here in third, not letting a Subaru by.
Jessica in fifth as well for JC Simsport. Want to announce that Jess Rakowski got, I can't remember the team, got assigned to a team for the Radical Academy, and she will be bowing out from both ASN, JC Simsport, and NASA at the end of the season. Best wishes to her with her endeavors. Awesome to see her and the growth there. Palin Ava still trying to find a way around Darnell.
Palin Ava tried to set the turn in early, and I think he realized, oh no, I have overlap. I can't turn now. He got a little too far up.
Lifflander to McFarland, 2.3 to the inside of Palin Ava again.
I think a pass is going to happen here.
Turn 3. At some point, you're going to force your way through like that. Gives him a nudge to the door. 2 of them. Palin Ava and Darnell. Darnell comes middle of the road, not giving up. As they touch, around goes Darnell. He saves it.
That's one way to get your spot back. Oh my God.
Palin Ava is trying to bowl his way through. If these guys keep squabbling, Rakowski's going to be able to take the fight. Lindy a half a second back on Rakowski, not missing anything up front. We stay focused on the battle for third.
I think that was Josh trying to squeeze Palin Ava, and squeezed a little bit too much. Touch, got the car sideways. I don't know if I can go back and look at that. Yeah, I think I can go look at that.
If it yells at you, go ahead.
Let's go look at that.
If it tells you can. Take a look from high above if you can. I think we're too far back. We'll see. Lindy has passed Jess Rakowski off monitor as well. Rakowski slid into turn number 3 and gave that spot up. Darnell still holds off, and this is where Palin Ava looks to the inside, gives him 2 nudges. Darnell, I don't think, likes that. Slices to the right, And I don't know what that was with Palin. It just seemed like it turned into him.
Yeah, it seemed like Palin tried to widen up the entry to the turn and just kind of give him a little spin. We'll go back to live pictures, though.
Take the white flag for Kieran Lifflander, not missing anything up front, but this battle's not letting go for the third spot. Darnell versus Palineva into the first corner. Interesting that Palineva's not staying in the slipstream. Deep on the brakes. The car gets so light when you're about to lock up those rears. It's a terrifying feeling because you can stay on the brakes and lock up and slide and kill the car, or let off and still probably kill the car into turn 3.
See, I try to
see a move.
I'm the one that writes the schedules for the series. I try and pick a road course that's got like a pretty decent split between curves and straights. The Subaru's 100% dominant on the straights. The Fiesta's slightly better in the hairpins in the curves. You see it really happening here. Palineva gets real close on the straights, and Darnell's able to take the turns a lot better.
Checkered flag for Lifflander in the heat race. McFarland second. Darnell's going to hold on for third, ahead of Palineva, Lindy, Rakowski, Sotens, and Simmer. That was a good little heat race and a taste of what we are going to be seeing in the next couple of moments. As Evan has it for Kieran, but he can't push too hard at the beginning. Darnell versus Palineva is going to keep on going. I'm curious to see what will happen with Rakowski and Lindy up to 5th from starting in 8th, so a lot of movement there. As the grid is set, we're going to step aside for a quick warm-up, and on the other side of the break, the German Grand Prix.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McFarlane contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Betty to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Rodney's going to hold his power. We welcome you back to round 282 of the championship overall and round 7 of the 32nd season of the NASA Rallycross World Championship here in Oschersleben. With Brian Sawyer on the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. And thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you so much to Andrew Cardinale IV for your camera support. Finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by Alex Abedi. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, apparently according to Brian, the dark web, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams weekly, along with our short-form video content. If you'd like your content broadcasted by ASN, or if you'd like to join the team, you can contact us at asntbusa.com. And if you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone. All the info at nasasimracing.com. We're going to jump into some programming notes on the Automotive Sports Network while we have a few minutes. And our next cast will be NASA Rallycross Futures tomorrow from Crandon Short. That's going to be on ASN Plus. That's $1 a month. Stephen Moreau, myself, Josh Mertz for that at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then at 9, we transition to the NASA Rallycross Lights World Championship. Also in Crandon on ASN Live, 9 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Josh Darnell and Stephen Moreau for that. On Monday, NASA Rallycross Contenders will be at Crandon as well. It's a recurring theme, don't you see? That's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Justin Robichaux and Brian Sawyer for that. No Torque on Thursday. And then our next broadcast for the NASA Rallycross World Championship will be at Crandon as well on the 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern. You'll have myself and Brian Sawyer for that. May or may not have officials tonight. Brian is being a big boy adult and redoing his bathroom, so we'll just he'll determine that when the time comes.
If you want to come back, butter my tile for me and help me get done sooner, we can do it. But it's probably not going to happen.
So, 0.032 of a second between Evan McFarlane and Kieran Lifflander. This is a 30-minute race. We're going to see some pit stops. Curious to see how this is going to work. And I'm excited because I just told Brian in the commercial that I think Evan lost this race on the start. Spun the tires bad. Tried to come across into Kieran. That didn't happen. I think contact might happen. It's going to be interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I think yeah, Evan's up ahead now. I think it's really going to come down to who gets the better start and then who has a better pit strategy. We saw Evan try and just drift it into the pits. It's really going to come up to who's not afraid to get up to that pit lane speed limit line and brake as late as possible without burning out the tires. They got to take tires anyway. Some people might take one. You definitely don't take two. The car feels very... If you put it on two tires, if you put them on the fronts, the car feels like a front-wheel drive car. If you put them on the rears, it feels like a real wheel. I'd recommend four, or maybe the back two. One you feel get a little loose coming out too.
That car, the Beetle Light was garbage on one fresh tire on Sunday. I'm just going to be candid and say that it was bad.
I took two, and I thought I was driving the TCR. It was
it was bad. So I don't know.
Something I'm shocked.
We'll
I mean, he's only ran 2 laps. Josh Darnell down in 6th position. Pelaneva up in 3rd. Not a whole lot of time between them, but a little over 2 seconds. So I don't think that was a good lap for Darnell.
We'll see. Lifflander, McFarlane. McFarlane, the only car in warm-up under a minute. We got about 30 seconds left for the German Grand Prix.
What is
if I'm Evan, I'm testing starts, but where is he? He is not on track at all.
He's getting a snack.
I'd be testing my starts. It's fair.
It's a 30-minute race, Josh.
That's true. All right. So if I look at my stat book, we have Evan McFarlane on 15 wins, Kieran Lifflander on 13 overall. And this season, it is 2 for Evan, 4 for Kieran. I don't know what to expect. This is going to be a good one. Thanks for joining us all day on ASN. I know it's been super quick. Going to have some fun for the next 30 or so minutes. And I'm probably going to call the checkered flag and run out the door. So Brian's going to have to handle the rest of it. Hopefully you guys don't mind. My wife will kill me if I'm late. So here we are. Our grid for the German Grand Prix. Kieran Lifflander, championship leader, alongside triple defending world champion Evan McFarlane. Josh Darnell, Yoni Pelaneva, Matthew Lindy, Jess Rakowski, Renee Sotens, and Marcus Indrek Stimmer. 30 minutes, roughly 30 laps, one pit stop required. I think we're good on fuel. And that's all I know. Everything else is an unknown. Everything else, we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for joining us on ASN as we wait for Josh Darnell to jump onto the grid. These 8 cars, battles all over the place through the heat race, and that was just a taste of what we are going to see. And Josh Darnell waiting for the last possible moment to grid. Less than 10 seconds. He better hurry up. He doesn't want to give this up.
He wants you to be stressing about getting out the door.
We get ready to go green at Oschersleben. Green flag in Germany. Off the line. Good start for McFarlane and Lifflander. Side by side, Pelaneva and Darnell to the first corner. Lindy, Sotens, Rakowski, and Simmer. Car length between the top 2 into the first corner. Lindy gets hit by Sotens, and Lindy turns Sotens, and the no-control magnets are still there with Matthew Lindy. He is out and away in last.
Yeah,
into turn
that's
number
a
3.
big gap, Josh. I mean, it's doable to make it back up in this race. I mean, it's 8 seconds, but that's not what you want to be competing with.
We saw that happen, though. Lindy's got the pace to make that happen. Former Contender Series champion through the chicane. McFarlane all over the rear wing of Kieran Lifflander. Car length between them. Pelaneva waiting for something to happen. Darnell on the back foot now, off the podium. Of course, after one lap, we still have a long time to go. And McFarlane's going to do this again, where he's going to push super hard on the first lap. I don't know. And this is the... I guess the difference between these endurance races and the regular rallycross races, because of course we're used to 10-lap, 10-minute, super quick. You don't run these very often to have the time. McFarlane looks to the inside, nothing done yet. You've got plenty of time to make a move. Car length between them down to turn number 3.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Josh.
Darnell.
But when I'm racing a road race, I don't want to sit behind a car like that for a half hour.
McFarlane looks to the inside, putting pressure on Lifflander. We saw in Barcelona last week. Contact again. We've seen in Daytona last season, Sonoma this season. So much action between these two kids. in the World Championship, looking to the inside to Bauer curve, is McFarlane. Liftlander gives him room. Into the Zeppelin curve, turn 8. McFarlane looking again, gives him a nudge. Palin Neva a couple tenths away as well. Liftlander defends to the inside. McFarlane slipstreaming down the front straightaway. 151 miles an hour on corner entry. And over-rotating nearly both of them. McFarlane to the inside! He's there! Makes the move! No slowdown on the world champion to the lead! I thought that was going to be a slowdown on that curve, Brian.
Now you can get pretty far over the yellow. I think it's second your outside tire or your inside tire. I guess it's your outside tire. Your outside tire touches the red and white.
Oh, the inside. They beating and banging. Here comes Palin Neva. We saw this a couple seasons ago with McFarlane and Liftlander. It was Robbie Kirtley that day who won that race. Will we see another random occurrence of a winner in the World Championship?
I think
Joni Palin. Time to wait.
I think here in Liftlander just turned Evan through that turn. Just kind of got on the inside and said, "This is how you..." Oh.
Palin Neva has the pace. McFarlane snaking like Newgarden down the front straight away into the first corner. And now Liftlander on the outside looking in again. Very deep into turn 2. Impressive. McFarlane, couple car lengths now between them. And like we had mentioned, it was last season or a couple seasons ago when they ran in Crandon. The two kids crashed, and Robbie Kirtley, I know you're hanging out in chat. You took advantage of that to take your sole victory in the World Championship so far. Palin Neva looks to the inside, nothing doing on Liftlander.
Josh, I don't think both these kids are finishing this race.
I don't think so either. I don't want a commentator's curse, but the way they've been brawling and beating the crap out of each other the last
It's only been 5
minutes,
minutes, you guys. You got 25 more.
This is gonna be great. I'm trying to sit relaxed in my sim rig seat right now. I can't. I keep trying to sit up. All right. Now Kirtley's got some skin in this game. He's hanging out with chat. Remember, he's a no control teammate, so he's looking for Palin Neva to look good. We got Evan McFarlane being cheered on by Matty Grove. Kieran Liftlander's got some family in the chat as well, so many fans of all these drivers running through Hotel Curve, turn 2. We brought on board Palin Neva, looking towards the two that have been dueling for the World Championship for the last 2 seasons. Just an update, Darnell has been dropped by Palin Neva. He sits in 4th, Rakowski 5th, Sotens, Simmer, and Lindy. Lindy's 3.2 back on Simmer. Simmer trying to catch Sotens. I'm taking a look off monitor. The Estonian battling the Dutchman for the 6th position. For No Control and for JC Simsport. And the interesting thing here, Brian, is Palin Neva's matching these 2 lap times, and he's applying pressure to these guys. They know that he's there, I think. We've got 3 different teams in the 3 different spots of the podium. Into turn 1. I cannot believe that Liftlander's maintaining on the edge of adhesion into turn 1. As he is pointed fully left towards the wall, towards the grass, and is saving this car. And I've talked about it before, and I'll be on an old man tangent for a minute. You can shut me up, Brian. But when I was winning my Lights Championships, as McFarlane runs wide, I was winning my Lights Championships. You have to predict what the car is going to do before it does it. That is what elevates you to that higher echelon, that alien status. And that's what these guys are showing. They drive these cars so frequently, they know what it's going to do. It's an extension of themselves, and Liftlander not giving up on McFarlane. They matched lap times last time around. Palin Neva was a 10th up. Darnell was only 2 tenths down, but he's been dropped further. He's 6 seconds behind the race leaders.
Josh, I'd like to bring something up. Look at Matthew Lindy. Look where he is. He was 8 seconds back.
Lindy's closed in on Simmer and Sotens.
He's back on the back of the field.
I'm curious to see, and he talked words are hard in his interview. He passes Simmer. What could have been for Lindy if he hadn't had all this bad luck? Because he's a former Contender Series champion. He's not happy with Sotens. He gives him a nudge. Then the 2-for-1 special in the worst way. Sotens goes from 6 to 8.
That's a little bit of a, hey, you did this to me. Guess what? I can do it right back.
Sotens on the grass, and around he goes in the 157. What could have been, though, it's going to be interesting to see if Lindy can fix his bad luck in the closing stages of the 25A World Championship, what will happen in the 25B World Championship. As, if I recall correctly, Evan has said that Lindy is the one who coached him, which is astounding. As we are just about 7 minutes in, 3 minutes until we hit a third of the distance, Brian, and I'm curious to know when these guys will pit.
I'm hoping we get a variety in pit strat, just not a halfway. Maybe somebody likes a heavier car or a super light car. Maybe somebody takes it 20 minutes and then goes fresh stuff for the last 10, or maybe somebody goes early.
And Lindy off the road in the 3. I'm just taking a look off monitor. He was pushing so hard and looped it into turn number 2. Now he's got to deal with Sotens again in the 157. And Lindy trying the outside. Sotens tries to push him wide in the 157.
Sotens not exactly going to be willing to give that spot back.
Absolutely not. I don't know if this is inside baseball or not, so feel free to shut me up, but over the last 3 weeks, there have been 7 protests applied to Matthew Lindy. It has been bananas with how the driving has been, and Sotens not letting him by. They touch again. Into the final corner.
I think most
Lindy
of those
rips
7.
the handbrake.
I think most of those 7 are with no control too. So Sotens definitely saying, "You're not getting past me today."
There's 3/10 between the two kids at the top of the field. I'm keeping an eye on that while we watch Lindy try and make the spot back up on Renee Sotens in the 157. Lindy on the outside. Can he make the move stick? He cannot. Last time around for McFarlane was a 1 minute 0.9, 0.8 for Lifflander, 1 minute 1.0 for Palineva. They're still equaling lap times. They're a second faster than Josh Darnell in the 0.29. Sotens versus Lindy again. And I say this every week over the past 13 years. It doesn't matter if it's for the win or if it's for 7th. These guys are going to battle like it's for the World Championship no matter what. And that's the spirit of NASA Rallycross. Kicking up dust. It's basically becoming a Rallycross track. Lindy to the inside, cutting the track. He's going to get a slowdown, but I don't think he cares. I think he's just, this is fantastic. This is awesome to see. I don't know if it's awesome for them in the cars, Brian, but it's super entertaining.
I think blood's boiling in these cars.
You see a red mist. And Lindy again into the 157 and again off the road in turn 1. Is it going to happen again, though, where he's going to claw back another 4 seconds?
I don't know. He's up to 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
This is a journey. This is a journey for Matthew Lindy. All right. 4/10 between the two kids, Brian. Last time around, 1 minute 1.0 for Evan, 0.1 for Kieran, 0.1 for Palineva. I am very impressed with Yoni Palineva.
Hey, he is holding on. If I'm Kieran or Evan or Yoni, I'm building this set too to give me a little wiggle room for options to pit. Because if I'm Kieran, I don't want to be right here. If I'm him, I see that we have, oh, look, we have a 10-second gap to Josh Darnell, even further to Simmer, 17. You know how long a pit stop takes. You know exactly how many seconds you're burning for each pit strategy. I'd want to go, hey, I'm going to go right now. I'm going to use this strategy. I'm going to go get the clean air. I'm going to run just some laps by myself, and hopefully I can make up the time on Evan.
Did I just hear you, unintentionally praise my Joker strategy from years ago? Because that's exactly what I did before, and that's exactly what I did on Sunday. You pit early, get yourself out of the chaos, use the clear track, hot lap your way back to the front. Transparently, that's the only way that I finished third on Sunday, because there was no way that I was going to finish anywhere close if I stayed in that chaos.
Yeah.
So
my rear bumper felt it.
Yeah, well, I hit the brakes when I was supposed to, but I digress. Here we are. So if you're Kieran, though, I would potentially pit, because in my eyes, I'm sitting behind Evan McFarlane right now, and I'm getting upset, right? I want to make the move, but just kidding. McFarlane runs it wide into turn. Again, saved it both. Both of them saved it. Into turn 4. Palineva sneaking in as well. I cannot help but think that this is going to be deja vu all over again from Crandon back in 2024A. And guess what? Next week is Crandon Short, that exact layout we ran. So this is going to continue. McFarland pits! Ooh!
That was a spicy one. I just got to push this out, too. I haven't put that out. Yoni Paglanava's got the fastest lap of the race right now. I don't know if it's going to be reset anytime soon, but pretty significantly, too. 1 minute 1.2, essentially. Next is Kieran and Kieran with a 1 minute 0.5.
So now this is one thing that you do not want to do, and it's no disrespect to our triple world champion McFarland, because this applies to him as well, but you don't want to let Kieran Lifflander by himself with a clear track. It's over when he has nobody in front of him.
Hell no. Evan's going to have his own clear track. He's coming out really far back here. Who else pit there? Was that Lindy? Matthew Lindy's pitting also.
Lindy. Now the big thing...
Yeah, Evan's coming out 7 seconds behind Renee.
Pit lane speed, no limiters on these cars, and you have to respect the pit lane exit. You cannot cross the red. McFarland does not do that. He should not have an issue. So, Lifflander stays out. Palineva applying pressure to the 20. Darnell, Rakowski, Simmer, Sotens, McFarland. So, McFarland is 42 seconds off the lead. We'll take a look and see his lap times when they unravel.
I get to break out a graphic. I don't normally get to break out here. We get to look at, where is it? Pit time. Yeah, the pit timers.
Ooh.
McFarland 39.0. Is that what that says? I can't read. That's too small on my screen. Lindy 36.
That looks right.
It's very small on my screen.
It's going to be all down to the in lap. The out lap, of course, the pit in, the pit out. Because there's no limiter, you can force your issue, but then you've got to be...
the full pit stop?
Listen, hold on. Words are hard. I'm getting to my point. The tricky thing in these cars is no pit limiters. So when do you brake to make that pit speed? I don't know. Lifflander responds. Palineva stays out.
Let's go to pit timers.
All down to the aggression in the pit entry lane. And 37 miles an hour is the pit speed. Will you get down to that? Yes. So now, Lifflander enters the pit lane. McFarland rounding turn 4.
Kieran has his car set up exactly how you should. If you put it down in the first gear and max it out, it's just sitting him at 37 miles an hour. That's how the light was, or my light was, at least in my lights race. It held me at 38, which iRacing won't give you a penalty for. So that's exactly what he's looking for.
Or Lifflander.
He's down.
Going to be focused.
He's real quick
on this. So
10 seconds faster than McFarland. 27.5.
Oh, I think Evan might be thinking long game, an extra tire or something, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Now, Lifflander caught behind Marcus Indrek Simmer on the outlap.
If I'm Marcus,
the inside of car number 4.
Marcus, I would not let
him go.
You know your teammates in first. It's not his teammate. That's right. His car just looks like a no-control car to me.
What are you talking about?
His car looks like a no-control car to me.
That's okay. All right. Palineva pits. Darnell pits. Rakowski, does she pit in the 999? Yes.
So it's like most people are running.
I don't know how I feel about this. 10 seconds is the gap. Unless Evan took 4 tires? I don't know. So Palineva up on the jacks. Darnell down to pit speed. Rakowski, Lifflander will go back to the race lead. We are halfway through in Germany. As Rakowski, McFarland has to get by Sotens and has to get by Simmer. So he's going to have to deal with some lap traffic. And I recall vividly with Evan McFarland, it was a potential, I can't remember if it was a messed up joker strategy from him or if Sotens had jokered, but I remember in Atlanta last season, McFarland had to dispatch Sotens. And Sotens remembers, potentially, that Lindy's teammate is the world champion. But
Darnell in the pits for a long time. Darnell almost a full minute in the pits.
I think Darnell took 4 tires in a full service.
He must have.
All right. Gap is 8 seconds. And we talked about last week, oh, there's a second. Kieran's got the race win. Just kidding. It was a bumper bashing at the line. So keep an eye on Evan for the remaining part of this race.
The gap is 7.8 seconds to Kieran. Simmer hasn't jokered yet.
No pit stop yet. So you're wondering, why are you forcing these guys to pit? It gives them a joker. It gives them the strategy. Technically, there's one joker required. So, it's a brilliant idea. All right, Brian, let's ride on board the world champion and enjoy a lap while we got some downtime here in Germany.
Josh, are we back?
Yes, Brian. I was conversing with my lovely wife on when I am leaving. Literally, the checkered flag drops, ladies and gentlemen. I am out the door. So, Brian will be handling post-race festivities.
That means we got a 2-hour post-race show, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, that's totally fine. I've been wanting to do that.
Josh is going to come back from the wedding. He's going to be like, why are you still talking?
I mean, you're going to be live streaming you fixing your bathroom, which is fine. It gives us more ASM Plus content ideas, I guess.
Oh, my God.
All right, so the gap is 7.8 seconds.
Look at Yoni
Kieran
and
just gave
Simmer.
up half a second. And Simmer yet to pit. Looking good in car number 4, despite that. Halen Ava still holding third. We still have 10.5 minutes left.
Simmer going for the super long game, which I like. I like to see the strategy. He's going 20, then 10. He might get a lot of speed. Go with a super light car with fresh tires.
Kieran looking 1 minute 0.819, 1 minute 0.845, and I think whatever gamble Evan did, and I'm going to be fascinated rather to hear the interviews when I watch it back later. What was Evan's logic on the extra pit? Because he's carved out 3/10. There's still 10 minutes, but the gap hasn't changed. I just wonder what the thought process was there. 'Cause it's almost like you've handed the race to Kieran on a silver platter.
Yeah, I don't know.
A neon sign that's flashing.
I mean, like I said, it's either 1 or 4 or 1. You can burn a 1 tire in pretty easily and manage it, or all 4. But I really don't know.
You miscalc his fuel. Soten's pits. So does Simmer. Curtly gives your dog a shout out on stream for the barking break.
Hey. Big dog barking, that's right. He's barking at the other dogs walking by the house. Like I said, I can watch my phone and I know it's coming. I see, hey, there's motion outside your front door, and then I hear my living alarm go off.
I think the only thing that Soten's comes out in front of Liftlander. Okay. All right, we're all good. Soten's came out in front of Liftlander and got in the grass and started sliding. I was really concerned. Heart and mouth moment for Kieran. All right, so gap is 7.4. It hasn't changed. Are we taking a second look at that?
Yeah.
Soten's exiting the pits. Does it say it crashed
Yeah, it
on
said
your
he
end? Because
crashed.
that's what was happening. That's what was happening to Steven on Sunday.
Oh, it said he crashed because he went out in the dirt like this. He got the 1X, got real slow. It's an algorithm that determines whether or not it thinks it crashed. So, going real slow, getting a 1X, It just guesses. Josh Darnell, Matthew Lindy
Evan.
fighting for 5th.
Evan is pushing so hard, but I don't think it's going to happen today.
I know
We'll
he's
just
not
have to
closing.
see.
He's not closing any gap. It's still 7-5.
That's what I'm just
Unless
very curious.
Unless he thinks Kieran's car is just going to start bleeding speed in the last few minutes. We only got 7 minutes left.
That's like a 100-dimensional chess. If he thinks that, there's only 7 3/4 minutes left. Anything can happen in NASA. We've seen it. We've talked about it. We will just have to wait and see together as Matthew Lindy holds the 5th spot. I want to shout out. We got about 15 of us hanging out and watching. It's been a fun race, given that it's a little bit spread out now. .6 is the gap.
This is the closest thing we have to a battle on track. The battle for 5th.
Futures race set the tone that it was going to be chaotic all week, and then here we are. But I think this is the nature between the bottom split and the top split with the open setups versus the fixed. Marcus Indrek Simmer has just gotten a slowdown from 7th. He'll have to serve that.
Josh, I think we just go full invert on everything. It's so much more fun.
Are we going to publicly make a decision on a world championship cast? Because I would say
Probably
yes.
not. I love it.
I would say yes.
I love watching forcing the fast people to pass. You give them a buttload of points for qualifying P1 and then say, hey, here, go. Figure it out.
You know what's really fun, and I know I'm not supposed to advertise it, but the Masters Split we run on Thursdays. It's for adults only, children. Don't think that you could join. But anyways, we have an invert there, and it is a brawl, especially when we decide to let the light race, and Brian has a 10-second head start.
Oh. Now when they say go,
Darnell
you
to the
just go
inside
way
of Lindy.
early.
Move Darnell to 5th.
I don't know how many tires Lindy took. Let's go get to his pit timer. If I can find it. Yeah, no, Lindy didn't take all four tires with a 36-second pit stop, so Lindy's tires are screaming at him. The amount of times he's been slid, been pushed, been pushing. His tires are very angry. Josh Darnell the 5th. 9 seconds to Jess Rakowski.
Let's see. The gap has not
Still
changed
7-4,
at all.
7-3.
Lifflander has dispatched Simmer, who's off the lead lap now. Halen Ava holding an impressive 3rd. We stay focused on this battle for 5th. Darnell and Lindy.
Well, it looks like they both lied, or I lied to myself in the beginning. I said both these kids aren't going to finish this race. Well, after the pits, I think they definitely both are finishing. Not as close as I hope, I think they hoped they were, but
if it holds, that'll be 5 wins for Kieran Lifflander this season. And the last 3 seasons, it has been 4 wins, 5 wins, and 5 wins. Again, if it holds, it's an impressive win ratio for Kieran Lifflander. And I made an interesting little stat book that I'm trying to pull up on the side about who has how many wins across the board. Okay, and I promise it sounds like I'm trying to toot my own horn. I'm not, but hear me out. All right. At the top of the board with 49 wins across, well, actually, just kidding. That was my 50th win on Thursday. Okay. I've got 3 in Masters, 7 in Lights, and 40 in the World Championship. I've got 50. Second place in this list is Kieran Lifflander with 29 wins. If it holds, it'll be 30 wins already. It's been a year and a half. The next closest is Philip Kraus at 25. He won once in Lights and 24 in the World Championship. And it is, like I've said, what we watch every week between the and Kieran.
Maybe there's something to it. He almost lost it there. And he didn't bleed any time, but you saw that too, right, Josh? You saw the car just go a little lopsided.
Tricky to do, and when these tires are complaining so much, as Lifflander McFarland, Palineva, Rakowski, Darnell, Lindy, Simmer.
I know after a full 30-minute stint in the lights, the tires are only at like 93, 94% remaining. But, I mean, these cars push out so much more power. And once you start getting into the low 80s, it's a little harder to drive. But Kieran actually just increases his distance. It's 7.6, 7.8.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us all day long here on ASN. The gap, that little mistake didn't affect him, but what might affect him, Matthew Lindy, coming to be lapped by the race leader. Will we see?
Matthew Lindy might give him a few hard corners just to give Evan. I mean, he should get a blue flag, but Matthew Lindy's not afraid of penalties this season.
Matthew Lindy's also not afraid of being in the way of the race leader. We saw that in Knockhill for the World Championship finale last season.
Yeah, and Kieran's going to catch up to him in the first turn. It's a little hard to move over.
Under 2 minutes left, so we might get the white flag. I'm trying to figure out when the white flag will be thrown. I think we're going to have 2 to go at the line.
We're going to have 2 to go. Should be a 30-lap race. Matthew Lindy's car looking like it's gone through a war.
Isn't that every week, though? As NASA Rallycross World Championship returns next Saturday, the 26th, to close out the Velocity Pixels Endurance Cup. Chaos. We've seen so much action over the years there. And excited to see that. 2 laps to go for Kieran Liftlander. It'll definitely be 2 laps to go now. And if he wins this race, he takes 7th all-time by himself in the World Championship. And Lindy's going to let him go.
Yeah, I mean, the gap was 8-1. He brought it down to 7-7. It's still back at 8 seconds.
I'll tell you what. Yoni Palineva is closing in on the world champion. 1.7 seconds from McFarland to Palineva. Last time around, Palineva 0.2 up.
Yeah, and Evan's got Simmer right in front of him. So Evan's got to get around Simmer and hold off Yoni.
Lets him go.
Simmer lets him go. Sometimes it's hard, though. You're in a spot of the track where you just can't let him go. And who's off the track here? Matthew Lindy.
Somebody ran wide.
Up all the
White
Matthew
flag
Lindy
for Kieran
up all the
Liftlander.
dirt.
White flag for the kid from South Carolina. Has set the series on fire along with Evan McFarland. Slashing records, crushing records, whatever adjectives you want to use. It has been bananas trying to keep up with this kid in the Lights World Championship. Super fun to watch. We've got half a lap until he gets another victory. As Renee Sotens and Palineva, what has happened? We're still green. What has happened to the world champion?
I got
Did
nothing.
he park it thinking the race was over? All right.
It shows a finish
are.
flag next to him. We might be wrong.
All right. Timed races are broken. Kieran wins. Evan second. Yoni third. Hate to do this. I got to run. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Brian's going to get the rest.
Yeah, it's looking like we got Kieran Liftlander in first place, Evan McFarland in second. It looks like, I guess they were just running a consolation lap there. Yoni Palineva in third, Jess Rakowski fourth, Josh Darnell fifth, Lindy sixth, Simmer seventh, and Sotens eighth. Let's see who we have. It looks like we got everybody. So, Kieran burning out some grass. We'll get set up here for interviews. And let's get started. Yoni Palineva, how are you? How was your race? Yoni Palineva, how are you and how was your race?
Difficult. I'm very hot.
Yeah, half-hour race is it takes a lot out of you. You get a lot warmer than you do in the normal 10-minute rallycross races.
Yeah.
So in the beginning,
I got hurt.
in the beginning of the race, there were you hoping Evan and Kieran were going to come together with how close they were for the first half?
Yeah, I was sure that they end in the wall, but that did not happen.
Yeah, yeah. They Kieran, I guess, had a good pit strategy compared to Evan and ran away with it. But hats off to you. You held on to Evan for most of the race there. It was quite the run. Who would you like to thank for your performance this afternoon or evening, whatever it is for you?
I want to thank No Control and my wife. There was all.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming out. We'll see you next week at Crandon Short. And congratulations on the third place.
Thanks, see you there. Bye.
Evan McFarland, second place this afternoon. Talk me through your race. How are you doing? What happened on your pit strategy?
So I decided to take all 4 tires because I thought the rears would be way more cooked, even though I already looked beforehand and it was only 90%. So I just took all 4 because I thought the tires were going to be completely cooked. And it's kind of funny because Matthew, he mentioned, what if we only took the front tires? And Kieran, I talked to Kieran, he ended up only taking the left front or whatever, and it seemed to work out for him. And yeah, I was fast this week. I was pretty consistent, except for that heat race. I don't want to talk about it. That was abysmal. But yeah, I don't know. I was just I was fast, consistent. Just didn't have the strategy. Kieran just outplayed me there, and props to him. He deserved the win, and it was a lot of fun racing him. So yeah, it was a good race. Surprisingly, not as boring as I thought for a 30-minute race, but yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys were holding on to each other for the first half there. We were expecting, we were calling out that both of you guys would not finish this race and, until pit strategies came around. I was like, one of them's going to spin the other one out. But yeah, you guys held on, P2. So coming into Crandon next week, who'd you like to thank for thank this week?
Of course, I got to give all glory to God. So thankful for everything He's done for me and being able to have this opportunity even just to race online. So thankful for everything He's done. Team Watson Racing, so proud to be on their team. It's been a great time racing with them. I repped a little bit different colors. I wanted to run KES and Team Watson this week, so I chose one of my teammates' paints who used to run some Rallycross, and that's why my paint was different. But yeah, all the guys at Team Watson, you know, Eric, Josh, Matthew, Klaus, Chris, just all the guys who are over there who support me, and a great group of guys. Also, KS Industries, Slick Race Graphics, Evan McFarland Photography, and if you want some of my setups, go check out twrsetups.com. And I'd like to thank my mom, my family, my aunt Marie, and Auntie Diana, and yeah, and also you guys for putting on the show.
All right. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you next week. Have a good rest of your day.
Seriously.
There we go. Kieran Lifflander, P1. Excellent pit strategy. One tire. Somehow knew it would hold on for the full half hour. How you feeling? Talk us through your race.
Yeah, I just took the same strategy from the lights because the difference is obviously going to be pretty significant between the light and the Subaru, or just the supercars in general. Obviously faster, you're going to a corner way more hotter than you are in the light, and yeah, most of the heavy braking cornering turns are left. So you're going into the turn, and it's a left turn. I mean, like you have turn 2, you're leaning on the left front the whole time, and just in general the left sides, but the left front the whole way around the track is being leaned on the most. So yeah, I just took the same strategy. I thought Evan must have messed up because I saw him dive into pit road, but yeah, I was just going to do what I did in the light, like I said, and just cut the stints in half, and yeah, just take left front. And the first couple laps are always a bit iffy because the left front is so cold and it doesn't grip up, so you're sliding. But yeah, I was able to make it work, and that long run speed was phenomenal. I set the car up for long run, and Evan obviously set up for short run, and that's why he was able to get past me. I just kind of overshot the turn 2 just a tad bit, and then he got under me, moved me, and then I just had to stay consistent the whole time, and then he pit like 3 laps before me, and I just hit a couple 1 minute flats, 1 minute 2 or something like that, and yeah, I was surprised. I was like I don't know, 7 seconds up, and I was coming out of the pit road, and Yoni was pretty far back, and yeah, Evan told me that he took all 4, so I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes the difference. I thought he had like a problem on pit road on entry or exit, so, but yeah, very, very fast Subaru WRX, and yeah, really happy with this one.
Yeah, it looked like Evan just kind of dove off to the pits as like a last minute, I'm gonna try and juke him out strategy there. And came out, took a longer pit than normal. Anyway, who would you like to thank this week? And we'll get you out of here.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my girlfriend again, Maria. She's watching, and yeah, she made this beautiful paint scheme, my favorite out of the 2. And yeah, thank you very much, Maria. Always been a ton of support, and as well, my mom and dad, sister, all supporting me as well. Yeah, all the people at Team KLR are making this possible. Thank you guys here at NASA for throwing up these streams and sessions, and I want to prove my worth and show people that I'm getting better. And yeah, I'm really happy to get this win. It was a tough one. I sweat pretty bad, and then now I'm cooling off. But yeah, hard work and dedication and advance definitely put me where I'm at now. Won by nearly 8 seconds. Obviously, there was different strategies between me and Evan, but nonetheless, still was able to be consistent the whole time, keep my cool, and not over push the car. So, yeah, I got to thank all those people that make it possible. And yeah, we'll move on to Crandon and head back to the States.
Yeah, well, we'll see you next week in Crandon Short, and have a good rest of your day.
You too.
There we go. I found the right screen. Alrighty. I'm not going to do final thoughts, and we don't have points since there are no points. Right now because we got next week to finish out the Endurance Cup, and we'll have them all then. So, the NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by the Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN are brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed was produced by Alex Abetti. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Network on Blue Sky, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified on all our live streams on weekly, along with all our short-form content. If you'd like your content broadcasted by ASN, you can contact us at asnTVUSA.com. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everybody. All info's at nasasimracing.com. We got 4 splits, everybody. Come check us all out. What else we got? I'll hit the programming notes one more time, since we've only hit them once this race. We're trying to get Josh out of here as soon as we could. So tomorrow night on ASN Plus, we got the NASA Rallycross Futures. That's going to be Josh Schmertz and Stephen Morrell. We're going to Crandon Short, second half of the Lights Endurance Cup. It's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be followed immediately at 9 o'clock by the Lights World Championship. That's Josh Darnell and Stephen Morrell. Then on Monday, Justin Robichaux and I, we're finishing up the contenders at Crandon Short, and then next week we're back here at Crandon Short next Saturday. Probably no official stream tonight. I gotta go tile a floor, and then Torque is back next Thursday at Suzuka on the 1st at 8:40 Eastern. Aside from that, great race tonight. Wasn't expecting that pit strategy, but here we are. Kieran Lifflander going in with a little more. If Evan gets first place next week, we'll have some interesting points complications going on there. But I think that's ending it for now. So the checker flag flies. on the evening here at Oschersleben. On behalf of the entire production staff, my name is Brian Sawyer. Thanks for joining us today for our coverage of NASA Rallycross World Championships. Congratulations to Kieran Lifflander. Just a reminder, don't miss the 9th round of NASA Rallycross Futures, or the 8th round of NASA Rallycross Futures and NASA Rallycross Lights tomorrow. Until then, so long everyone.